The crankshaft pulley has a wheel-like appearance and is grooved. It is connected to the crankshaft's tip. The primary engine shaft, or crankshaft, rotates the engine by converting the up and down motion into a rotational motion. The engine's pulley is most important because it rotates the belts that power all of the accessories. The water pump, power steering pump, and alternator are a few of the accessories that are powered by this system. In this video, we break down the top bad crankshaft pulley symptoms you may encounter. We will also tell you how to check this part and its replacement cost. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. Engine vibration. The excessive movement inside the car engine causes it to shake excessively, but designers have worked hard to find ways to reduce the shaking. The crankshaft pulley-mounted harmonic balancer is one means by which this is accomplished. Because nothing is absorbing the vibrations, if the pulley is damaged, the engine vibrations will inevitably increase. When the engine is running at a higher RPM, you might notice this issue more. Allowing the engine to continue vibrating in this way only causes more harm. Stalling engine. Dealing with a stalling engine when the crankshaft pulley fails is not a common occurrence, but it can happen. You'll have a difficult time keeping the motor running once the crankshaft pulley stops spinning the serpentine belt. Some vehicles use crankshaft position sensors to read the crankshaft pulley's teeth to determine the engine speed. If the pulley is damaged, the engine will stall. You should become aware of some of the other symptoms prior to this occurring. For the serpentine belt to jump in the first place, for instance, there would need to be a fair amount of vibration taking place. Overheating engine. A possible more concerning situation is an overheated engine. The water pump may stop working if the crankshaft pulley cannot spin the serpentine belt. The water pump is essential for maintaining engine cooling. A hot engine should never be disregarded. If you let it go on long enough, you might develop a cracked cylinder head or blown head gasket, both of which necessitate costly engine repairs. Car won't start. You might not be able to start the engine if the crankshaft position sensor is unable to determine the engine speed from the crankshaft pulley's teeth. This might also happen if the alternator stops working and the car battery dies. Of course, before it gets to this, there should have been some battery problems. Battery not charging. While the engine is running, the car's alternator is in charge of charging the battery. Additionally, it powers the accessories. The alternator won't function if the crankshaft pulley breaks and the serpentine belt has a problem. The battery and the accessories will no longer receive power as a result. As a result of the failure, your car battery might die. However, a battery warning light should appear on the dashboard to let you know there isn't a charge. Irregular engine idle. The crankshaft pulley experiences significant tension even when the engine is operating as it should. Everything shifts out of balance when the crankshaft pulley breaks. The failure might cause your car to idle rough. Additionally, a bad crankshaft pulley may prevent the crankshaft position sensor from accurately reading the engine speed, which could lead to irregular engine idle. Loss of power steering. The power steering pump receives its energy from the crankshaft pulley via the serpentine belt. You need assistance navigating the vehicle because this pump is required to pump hydraulic fluid into the steering system. You will lose the extra boost if the power steering pump cannot be driven by the serpentine belt. Without this system, steering a car can become quite challenging, possibly resulting in you losing control. A complete diagnosis is required because the same symptom could also be caused by low power steering fluid. Damaged transmission or internal engine parts. If the crankshaft pulley or harmonic balancer fails, the engine and transmission shouldn't be damaged right away. On the other hand, if the issue is ignored, you could be in for some serious issues in the future. Without the balancer's dampening effect, the engine experiences unnecessary crankshaft vibration, which could result in a broken crankshaft or worn rod bearings. Transmission damage may also result from these vibrations. You might start to notice fluid leaking or experience shifting issues if the input shaft, gears, or bearings are subjected to the vibrations for an extended period of time. Transmission and engine repairs are pricey in either case. By treating seriously any failure of the crankshaft pulley, you can avoid these. How to check. If you suspect a problem, you should visually inspect the harmonic balancer and crankshaft pulley. Delaying the diagnosis could result in other components failing while you wait. Check for physical damage to the crankshaft pulley and harmonic balancer. It's best to replace the parts if you notice any defects. Start the engine if nothing is visible to the naked eye. While the engine is running, keep an eye on the harmonic balancer to see if it is swaying. For a clearer view, you might need to use a flashlight. Replace the crankshaft pulley if it is swaying. Grab the outer ring while removing the fan belt. Move the ring if you can. It's time to replace it if you can move it in and out. It's best to get in touch with a qualified mechanic if your inspection turns up nothing alarming or if you need assistance with the repairs. These components must function properly in order to maintain the engine's peak performance. Replacement cost. The cost of replacing the harmonic balancer and crankshaft pulley is typically low. For parts and labor, you might shell out a total of $150 to $650. Depending on the kind of vehicle you drive, the parts may only cost $20 to $400 if you can do the replacement yourself. These parts could be changed within an hour or two with the appropriate equipment and knowledge. But if you lack experience, it's best to rely on the experts. Hope the information was helpful for you. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel.